So in today's video, we're talking about something that everybody wants from their golf game. I'm going to show you how you can get more consistency. Very, very good chance that you're a golfer who, when you got on the golf course, is going to hit some fantastic golf shots. You hit those really solid drives that are exactly what you need to do with those great iron shots into the green, but you just struggle to do it shot after shot, round after round. You struggle with consistency. Well, today we're going to show you just how you can gain more consistency in your game. We're going to start off by explaining what causes inconsistent golf shots, and then make sure you stay tuned to the end, because at the end of the video I'm going to pretty much contradict what I'm saying in the start of the video, but it will make sense as we go through it, so stick with me through to the end. So where does inconsistency come from? Well, we really have to think about, in our golf swing, what are we trying to balance? Every golfer out there is trying to balance certain elements of their golf swing. The more things we have to balance, the more inconsistent you're going to be. So what do I mean by that? Well, anything that we do in our technique, if I change my grip or I change my ball position or I change my alignment, that will influence the ball to go either left of target or right of target. And we have to find a balance if we want the ball to go straight. So if we took a very simple example, if I decided I was going to change my alignment like this and aim to the left of the target, that ball will go left. Therefore, I need to add in something to my technique which would make the ball go to the right to try and find a balance. So I might decide, or I might over time develop a weaker grip. So a weaker grip would indicate that the club face is going to be open, which is something that would make the ball go to the right. So I've got my alignment, which is left, I've got my grip, which is a right, and on the golf course they may well balance quite nicely and I might hit some good shots, but they're not going to balance all the time. Those of you out there who are really struggling with consistency, you're probably trying to balance 4 to 5 things in your golf swing. You might have an aim which is left, you might have an over-the-top move which is a left, you might have a weak grip which is a right, you might have a hold-off which is a right, and all these things you're trying to balance. And then it becomes down to how many golf balls can you hit in a week, how much talent have you got, how much skill have you got. And if you're like me, you've got a job and you've got family, it's really difficult to spend that much time practicing. We go on the golf course, we hit some great shots, but we're inconsistent. So the key here is to try and get as many neutral things as we can. And you can see I've got an alignment stick on the ground, that's our first point. In practice, what I'd love you to do is just build good habits. I've got an alignment stick down here, which is aimed directly at that flag, because the first thing we're going to try and do is make sure that you get your alignment parallel to your ball to target line. That would be my toes, my knees, my hips, my forearms, my shoulders, and my eyes. I've set up and I've already added something there which is a neutral. That's a direct aim at the flag. That's exactly what we want. The other two things we're going to talk about in this video are where is the club swinging, so the club path, and where is the club pointing, so the club face. If we can aim straight, swing straight, point the club straight, the ball should fly about straight, and it's consistent because there's not many things that we're trying to balance, and that's really the key in this message. So the grip, how do we make sure that the grip is neutral? Well, the first thing I want you to do is make sure that the grip is held in the right part of your hand. If you notice my left hand, I really want you to make sure that the grip is being held very much down in the fingers. All too often the golfers who are inconsistent tend to have the golf club a little too high in the hand. What that can do is it can make it very difficult to set the wrists, it can make it very difficult to control the face, which is something we're trying to do here. So as you notice, when I place my lead hand on the golf club, it's running from about middle of the index finger to the base of the little finger. When I then close my fingers around and wrap the hand around, it should feel very much as if that golf club is being held in the fingers of that lead hand, not through the palm. So that's our first point. The second point would be, as I look down on that golf club with my lead hand on the grip, my lead thumb should sit slightly to the right hand side of center, so I can see that there. The crease formed between my thumb and my hand should be pointing slightly right of me, so slightly right of my chin or my nose, and I want to be able to see 1, 2, maybe even 3 knuckles on that lead hand. If you can't get those checkpoints, that means that your grip isn't neutral. It means you've got something in there which is suggesting the ball's going to go right or left, and then you have to add the compensation and you become inconsistent. So if we can get the golf club held in the right place in our hand, we can have that checkpoint, so thumb sits slightly trail side, I can see 2.5 knuckles. That tells me that my lead hand is neutral. What I want that lead hand to then do is influence where my trail hand goes. If my lead hand is good, there's a very, very good chance that my trail hand is going to be good as well. But what I should be seeing here is that this thumb now sits on the lead side of the handle. So it's the opposite. But the V formed between my thumb and my hand is again slightly right of centre. So if I can place my hands on the club that way and place my feet and my body parallel to my target line, what I've done is I've set two neutral elements in there. I've got a neutral club face and I've got a neutral alignment. The next thing that we need to do is make sure that we're getting that club face under control early in the golf swing. So the first checkpoint I want you to have is that when that club reaches first parallel to the ground, the club face is slightly turned down to the ground or around about vertical. Somewhere between those 2 points is okay. Because all too often we see though the golfers who struggle roll that club face open, or they start to hood the club face too much in that takeaway and the club is closed. So we want to take that nice neutral grip and nice neutral stance and ensure that the golf club is controlled at this first point going back where the club face is in that checkpoint that we've just discussed. Even though we've only moved the club 2 to 3 feet from the ball there, we've already established some really good relationships, and that's really, really key. We've got the club face under control, and we've got good alignment. The next thing we're going to do is talk about the club path. And this is the final thing that we're going to talk about in this video. So I've got another alignment stick here, which is parallel to my target line. Now, for me to have a very neutral path, give or take, as I make my backswing and I find my delivery position, I need the club shaft to be about parallel to the two alignment sticks that you see on the ground. Club head behind my hands is probably going to give me a rightward path, and club head outside my hands is most likely going to give me a leftward path. If I can find my club shaft falls on top of or parallel to those on the ground, there's a very, very good chance there that my club delivery is going to be neutral. And again, neutral is the key word in this video. That's what we're searching for. Now, I'm going to chip this ball. There's a big ravine there, so I'm going to lose it. It's a good job it's rangeable. But hopefully, if I do those things correctly, I'm going to do this as a little rehearsal. So there's my first checkpoint. That's correct. Up to the top, find my next checkpoint, which is correct, and then just turn through. Okay, it wasn't the best strike, but I'm able to send that ball pretty much down towards my target. And if you gave me 100 balls, I'd be able to do that pretty much 100 times. I'm never going to sort of hit it way right or way left unless I completely misstrike it. But those sort of key checkpoints that we've run through in this video is really going to help me develop that thing, that key word, consistency in my golf swing. And if you can be more consistent, I'm sure you can imagine it's probably going to result in lower scores. So the way I just hit that golf ball there would be a great way for you to start your practice sessions. Build good alignment, double check the grip, check the club face early on, work on finding this nice neutral delivery, and then just turn through. That one's a little left, but again, it's a much more consistent way of delivering the club. I'm not trying to balance lots of different things in order to make the ball go straight. It doesn't feel a battle to me, and many of you will maybe have that sensation when you're playing golf, that it feels like a battle through impact to try and get the ball to go in the fairway or on the green. So those are the things I'd like you to focus on to build consistency in your golf swing. Now, right at the start, I said I was going to contradict myself, and that's what we're going to do now. Let's just get another ball ready. So we talk of consistency. Now, let's just go through an example. I'm going to use Tiger Woods because he's the first person that comes into my head, and obviously we're not at that level, but what does he do on the golf course? Well, if we look at his tee shots and his iron shots, he'll often hit a nice draw off the first, and he might hit a little fade into the green, and then he might hit a fade off the next, and he might hit a draw into the next, and he might change the flight. There's no consistency in how he delivers the club on the golf course. He's always changing his club delivery to make the ball do whatever he wants to do. So what I'd love you to do is when you're working on your swing, you're trying to build as much consistency as you can. We've already done that with the little exercises. But part of your practice should be experimenting, starting to be inconsistent to learn how to make the ball go towards the target. If we can develop a technique which is sound and consistent, and we can use our practice time to develop skill and talent, that's a really, really powerful combination. So what I could do to finish off my practice session here would be to say, okay, well, we know that the target is down there. What about if I intentionally aim myself to the left and try and now make that ball finish on my target? So I now have to learn what club face position at impact is going to make that ball finish on the target. That's curving left to right and landing a little bit right to target, but not bad. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to do it the opposite way. I'm going to take my alignment and I'm going to aim right of the target, and I'm going to learn what club face position at impact will make that ball curve back, and that one's curving back towards the target. So at the start of the video, I said that was inconsistent, but that's a drill that I'm using to develop skill. I'm intentionally aiming offline, and I'm intentionally trying to deliver a club face to make the ball go straight. So your practice, your swing work should be trying to develop as much consistency as you can in your swing. But part of your practice wants to be just a bit of fun, just a bit of exploring what you can do with a club face and starting to learn how to make the ball go pretty straight, whatever you do in your setup and wherever you actually swing the golf club through impact. And like I said, the two of them together are such a powerful tool. If you want to get better at golf, you have to develop your technique, but you also have to develop and work on your golfing skill. The two together are such a powerful combination, and that's what we're doing in this video. So more consistency would help almost every golfer out there, because we can all hit great shots. I'm sure you're the same. I'm sure you hit fantastic shots throughout the course. We're just trying to get you to hit those shots more often. That's how you get lower scores. That's how you have more fun, and that's how you drop your handicap. Thanks for watching. Usual stuff is down below. I'd love to get your comments on this particular video. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, click the link above there. That will allow you to do that. I'd love you to be part of the community. I really believe these videos can help you play some better golf. Thanks for watching.